So hello everyone, welcome to the channel. So in this video I'm gonna show you how to create a channel center line in HEC-RAS 2D for flood modeling. So now let's get started. So first I'm gonna navigate to my HEC-RAS. I'm gonna click this. So this is the HEC-RAS interface. So now I'm gonna open my project. So I'm gonna navigate to this option called files, and in that I'm gonna open my recent project called HEC-RAS flood modeling. So once you click that, next step I'm going to navigate to this option called RAS Mapper. So I'm going to click this option called Open RAS Mapper. And this is the RAS Mapper interface here. So in our previous video I have shown you how to create a project in HEC-RAS, and I've shown you how to import the DTM data into HEC-RAS, and overview and the morphology of Bald Eagle Creek. So first we're going to navigate to this option called Geometry here. So in this video I'm going to show you how to create a river geometry. So first I'm going to navigate to this option called Geometrics. So I'm going to right click this and click this option called Create a New Geometry. So now here a window pop up saying New Geometry Data. So enter a unique name for the new geometry. So I'm going to enter the geometry name as Bald Eagle. So here I have entered the unique name for the new geometry as a Bald Eagle Creek. So I'm going to click OK. So now a new window appears here, Manage Layer Association. So it has a set of options here, starting with the RAS geometry layers as a Bald Eagle Creek, terrain, and Manning's N, infiltration, impervious sediment bed material layer, and porosity flow drag. So I'm going to close this. So now here you can able to see we have inside the geometry we have the Bald Eagle Creek, and we have 19 empty layers. So now let us start creating our river geometry, so which will basically define the plan form of the river, and we will be mainly digitizing the river center line here. So you can able to see that we're going to digitize the river center line, and from this terrain model you can able to see we have the river channel here, and we have a tributary that is joining here. So you can able to see that, and towards the river flows from southwest to towards the northeast. So the flow direction is from towards the southwest to towards the northeast direction, and this is our upstream. So this is the upstream so this is our upstream flow, and this is our, from here it is our downstream flow, and this is one of the tributary. So towards our south west is our upstream, and towards the northeast it's our downstream. So now here you can able to clearly visualize that. So this is our upstream, and this portion of our downstream area, and this is one of the tributary. So we can think of these as a three river reaches. So the three river reaches, first one, second, and the third one, and we're going to name this as a, so we're gonna name this three reaches as a Upper Bald Eagle, and Lower Bald Eagle, and tributary. So the red arrow which represents the three reaches, so which is represented as a Upper Bald Eagle, and Lower Bald Eagle, and tributary. And now let's start digitizing the center line for these three reaches, namely the Upper Bald Eagle, and tributary, and the Lower Bald Eagle. So now we are currently in RAS Mapper in HEC-RAS 2D. So to start digitizing the center line of the river, so let me zoom into the upstream area here. So this is the upstream area. I'm gonna pan and move this DTM here, and you can use your scroll button in your mouse to zoom in and zoom out. So now to create your river center line, first we're gonna navigate to this the geometries here. So I can right click on the Bald Eagle Creek, and I'm gonna click this option called Edit Geometry. So I'm gonna click this option called Edit Geometry. So once you did that, we have these different options here, starting with the rivers, cross section, storage area, 2D flow areas, and bridges, and inline structures, lateral structures, pump station, boundary conditions, lines and initial condition points, reference lines, and manning, infiltration, percent impervious, and error. So we have a lot of these options here. So first I'm going to click this option called rivers. So once you click So we have this new set of options that appears here, starting with add a new feature, and next option is the edit feature, and the next is undo and redo, and the next option is the plot terrain profile, and last is our tools option. So we're going to click this down arrow button here. So we have this set of options here: copy feature, paste features, delete features, reverse feature, merge features, and buffer polygon, filter feature, and view and edit points. So first we're going to select this particular option called add a new feature. So once you select it, it gets highlighted in this blue color here, and you can able to see the blue line added here for the legend here. And make sure that you selected this option here. So now let's start digitizing the river lines here, and make sure that you leave some buffer from the boundary to the point where you start digitizing, so you don't so let me explain this one more time. So if you start digitizing, make sure that you leave some buffer, the buffer from the boundary to the point where you start where you start your digitizing. So you don't want to start digitizing from here. Make sure that you start leave some buffer boundary and start digitizing from here, because sometimes you may digitize your point outside the digital terrain data. So make sure that you leave some buffer and start digitizing from here, and make sure that your first point is visible to you, and make sure that the point is inside the digital terrain model. So if you want, you can zoom more here, so using your scroll button. So now let's start digitizing. So let's start digitizing from the center line here in the upper bald eagle reach. So we're gonna start from here. So I'm gonna left click here, and I'm gonna start digitizing from here. So make sure that your points are in the river center line. So you can also zoom in using the scroll button. And make sure that your points are in the center of the channel here. So you can able to see I've started digitizing the river center line here. So now to pan around, make sure that you press and hold your scroll button, and you can pan this, and you can start digitizing. So while digitizing the reverse center line, make sure that your points are is going through the middle of the channel here. So make sure that you zoom in well and start placing your points like this. So once we started reaching our junction point here, we have begun to reach our junction point here. So you can able to see that. So this is our junction point, and in case if you want to remove this particular point, you can click this option called undo. So to remove those points here, you can able to see. So you can also place those points again using this option called redo, and make sure that you place all your points at the center of this river here. So you can able to see the points. Make sure that you place those points at the center of the river. So once let me place a point over this junction. So this is going to be our junction here. So now to complete this particular upper reach, and make sure that when digitizing, your points are at the center of this river channel, and make sure that your points are through the middle of this channel here. So once we reached our junction point here, and this is where we're going to end our upper reach. So here you can able see in the DTM here. So here we have the another tributary here. So we're going to name this tributary as a tributary 1, and this point is going to be the junction point for this upper reach as well as this tributary 1. So as soon as we reached our junction point here, so make sure that you double click here, and a new window pop up saying provide river and reach name. So I'm gonna enter the river name as Bald Eagle, and I'm gonna enter the reach as upper reach. So once you entered as a Bald Eagle as well as the reach name, river name as a Bald Eagle, and the reach name as upper reach, I'm gonna click OK. So after specifying the river and the reach name, now we can so you can able to see this pink line in our upper reach of Bald Eagle river, and this particular upper reach starts from here. You can able to see here the upper reach starts from here till this particular junction point. And now in order to save this particular upper reach, make sure that I navigate to the rivers. I'm gonna right click and click this option called stop editing, and make sure that I click S to save this upper reach. So you can click S to save this upper reach. So as long as you did not make any mistakes, and if you made any mistakes, you don't want to save this edit. So in that case, if you make any mistakes, make sure that you click no to do not save this edit, and you have to redigitize this entire upper reach again to make it correct. And after that, you can click save as. So I have didn't make any mistakes here, so I'm gonna click save. Yes. So now we have digitized upper reach. So now let's start digitize our tributary 1 here. So first we're gonna navigate to the river options here. So I'm gonna right click and click this option called edit geometry, and once it appear, make sure that this option is selected. So that is add a new feature. So once this option is selected, so I'm gonna place a point inside the DTM here, and I'm gonna draw my the river channel line at the center of this channel here. And here you can able to see we have the, and here you can able to see the channels get divided here. So let's not worry about it. So I'm gonna select one of the channel here. So I'm gonna select this one of this channel, and I'm gonna start placing my points at the center of the river. And if you want to zoom in, you can use your scroll button in your mouse to zoom in and zoom out. So I'm gonna zoom in here, and to pan around, make sure that you hold your scroll button and push it, so I can pan around here. So let me place my point at the center of this river channel here. So once you reach to the junction point here, so where the upper reach and the tributary, this reach called as a tributary, it's gonna meet, and this is gonna be our junction point. And as you zoom in, you can able to see this red buffer, dotted red buffer around your point here. So once you reach the end point of the upper reach as well as your tributary reach here, and make sure that you zoom in well and place your points on this upper reach here, which is indicated in this blue line here. So I'm gonna place my let me make another point here. So I'm gonna place this particular point over this particular line here. I'm gonna zoom in well here. So I'm gonna place a point over the line here. So let me show you once more time here. So I'm gonna remove this point here. So I'm gonna place over this particular upper reach, and I'm gonna double click here, and the window pop up saying river name and river reach. And here I'm gonna enter the river name as so I'm gonna leave it as a default for the river name as river 1, and the reach name I'm gonna mention as a tributary here, the tributary as a reach name as tributary. So I've entered the reach name as tributary reach. So we're gonna click OK. And again go ahead and change your edits, save your edits. So to save this edit, we're going to follow the similar steps here. So we're going to navigate to the reverse, and I'm going to right click and click this option called stop editing, and click S to save the edits. So now we have our tributary reach here. So this particular which represents our upper reach, and this particular represents our tributary. And typically we have our upper reach as well as the tributary. So next we're going to digitize our lower reach. So this is our lower reach. So we're going to digitize this. This is our lower reach. So now let's start digitizing our lower reach here, and make sure that all of our reaches meets at this junction point here. So let me zoom in here, and you can able to see this. And let me navigate to the rivers. I'm gonna click this right click this river and click this option called edit geometry, and make sure that you select this option, and make sure that you place your point over this junction point here. So I'm gonna zoom in well. So I'm gonna place my point over this particular junction here. Now let me place another point here, and you can able to see that all our lines falls inside this buffer here, the dotted buffer. So which tells us that the program will create a junction here. So now let me zoom out here. So I'm gonna place a point here. Make sure that you digitize, make sure that the points are at the center of the channel here. You digitize the channel line at the center of this channel, so you can able to see from the DTM here. So this is our channel. Make sure that you place the points at the center of the channel. So after reaching here, make sure that you double click to stop digitizing it. And we have to provide the river and reach name. So the river is Bald Eagle, and the reach name is Lower Reach. So have given both the river name as well as the reach name. So we're gonna click OK. And let's now go ahead and save our edits. We're gonna navigate the reverse here. I'm gonna right click and click this option called stop editing, and then I'm gonna click save to save our edits. And here you can able to see our three lines meets at the junction point here, which is indicated as junction 1, and this junction is indicated as a red point here. So you can able to see this. So it's given junction 1 and the point, which indicates the junction point here for the three reaches. And from here you can able to see that our three line meets the junction. You will see that a program has automatically created a junction point here. And in case if you made a mistake and your three lines do not intersect at the junction, so the program will not create the junction point. So in that case you will go and edit those points at this intersection to make sure that they intersect with each other, and the program will create a junction point for you. And now you know how to digitize the center line of the channel, and this is the one of the feature that we need for defining the geometry of a river system for HEC-RAS. So after you digitize the center line, you see the junction. So you can able to see here the junctions here, so which is indicated in this point here. So you can open that using right click and click this option called open attribute table. So you can able to see this junction point here. Similarly, to view all this, we're gonna navigate to this option called reverse. I'm gonna right click and click this option called open attribute table. And here you can able to see the FID, river and reaches. So the river Bald Eagle, and river 1, which indicates a tributary reach, and river that is Bald Eagle, lower reach and upper reach. So now let me close this. And last thing I want to say is just make sure that when you start digitizing your river center lines, make sure that you start from your upper reach. That is, make sure that you start digitizing from the upstream here. So I've drawn from my upper reach from the upstream of this river. So similarly, when digitizing the downstream, you start from the junction point and digitize like this towards this end. That is, we started digitizing from the junction point here up to the downstream here. And similarly, for digitizing the tributary, we started from the upper reach here and we completed our digitization at the junction point here. So when you digitize the river center lines, you always start digitizing from the upstream end, and you move towards the downstream. And if you have the junction here, make sure that all the endpoints meets at this junction here. So that is, whenever you have a junction, make sure that all the endpoints of your reaches meets at the junction here. So they basically intersect with each other. So as long as you follow those rules here, the digitizing the river center line should not give you any errors. So in this video I have shown you how to digitize the river center line in HEC-RAS 2D for our flood modeling. So thanks for watching, and make sure that you subscribe to our channel and give us a like.